What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Just Silk Games, and we are going to be bringing you a few things in an upcoming sort of series we're going to be doing. We're going to be talking about how to build decks, archetype overviews, and all these different things. But today we are going to be talking about our top 5 SPRs. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Funny though. Oh my god! This is powerful. So, our top 5 SCRs. The first one I'm going to bring you is Body Change Ginyu from the Clash of Fate series. The reason I think this is one of the top 5 SCRs is not only SPRs, sorry, I apologize, SPRs, is because the design is really well done. I love the fact that in the Clash of Fate series, they started doing these words across the cards. Like, so this one just says change. And we all know Ginyu's, signature move was body change. And it was a very clever card. It still is a clever card. So let's talk about a few of its uses and a couple of things it can do. So when this card is played, choose all of your Ginyu Force cards in your battle area and they gain 10,000 power for the duration of the turn. Obviously, that does include Ginyu himself. So he becomes 25k straight away when you put him down. It's a very strong card. 3 energy, so it does sound like a lot. 2 red specific. And then activate main. Place this card in its owner's drop. Play this card in your opponent's battle area from its owner's drop area with its skills negated. Then choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with 20,000 power or less other than Body Change Ginyu, gain control of it, and switch it to active mode. It's crazy strong. So it can be used in many decks that use a lot of utility coming up. So for example, the new Nappa deck that's coming out has a lot of cards where you KO your Cybermen and then you minus 10k from something. You could minus something that's 30k power, pay 3 energy, switch, and you still get another swing off that as well if you wanted to. If you don't want, unless they want to, if they combo the card you've minused away, then that's a bit annoying. But if they don't see that play happening, then that's a really powerful interaction you can have, and you get control of their card. It doesn't say for the turn. Is forever. So 3 energy, take control of your opponent's card. If you wanted to, you can swing for an attack as well. It's a very powerful card. The downside doesn't have any protection, so it doesn't have barrier, doesn't have deflect, and it can be interacted with quite easily in the meta that's happening at the moment. But I still think this has a place and will be used, and maybe I'll try and tinker with a way of playing it and using it in the next coming, few sets that we see. So obviously the reason I like it so much is this art. I love the dynamic pose that Ginyu has in it. I love the card. I love the full art of it. I love everything about this card. So he is in my 5th place. 4th place, Focus Breakthrough. Now, I have only recently just started playing green. As everyone knows, I played a lot of Baby for a long time. Vegeta Baby was my boy, and he still is. Like, I'm still going to come back to it. Blue, red, whatever they release. But I wanted to show that I could play other things, so, I've done that. And now we'll go back to the roots, I guess. But this card is a card I never used. I never got to play with it, but I love its art. I love that dynamic Gogeta pose. He's just, Vegito, whoever it is, I don't know. Sorry, my bad. One of the two. And he's just stood there holding his hand up and got that energy increasing in his hand. And the card itself is quite useful. It's not the best of their SPRs that they released with the counterplay skills that they released then. Obviously, Beerus Ball's still better. Beerus Ball is just one of the most ridiculous cards in the game. I love that card, and I've been saying that since set 10, and since before set 10, really. But anyway, if your leader is green and your life is 4 or less, if the battle card being played has an energy cost of 3 or less, it's placed in its owner's drop instead. And if you have a multicolor energy and your life is at 4 or less, you can activate this card without paying its cost. So you need to keep your eyes on these cards, guys. A lot of cards that are happening, especially we're playing in a webcam meta at the moment, because we can't play anything else because of COVID. So, in a couple of the games in the PPG tournament I had, especially in the top 8, a guy played one for free. And I was like, no, dude, you can't do that because you haven't got a multicolored energy. You have to have a multicolored energy to activate its cost for free. That's part of its cost. Other things happened as well, but we won't talk about that. But so just make sure you keep your eye on when people are playing cards like this. These are older cards. Just keep your skills, memory unlocked. All right, guys. So that's my 4th place. So let's go to 3rd place. Foo Shrouded in Mystery. The another, like, the only SCR in the game that isn't an SCR. This card is ridiculous. Its power is just beyond a joke. It still sees play now. It probably sees more play now than it did before. But this card is a card you need to have, you need to own. It needs to be in a side or in a main. It's just crazy powerful. But talking about why it's my favorite, one of my favorite SPRs, is because of the art. The art is beautiful. The dynamic pose again, that gold foiling straight across, the images, the directions of power flow. It's really cleverly designed card. I love this card, and obviously the effect. So Overrealm for 10 costs 6. If you have 10 or more cards in your drop, blah, 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 when you activate Overrealm. So when you play this card using Overrealm, your opponent can't activate skills on other cards other than their leader until the beginning of your next turn. So it shuts down their whole next turn and their defense turn. The only card that interacts with this is Trunks, God Sealing Technique. So just keep in mind there, guys, if you can't get rid of it any other way. I don't believe. There might be one other way, but I'm pretty sure it's just Trunks that interrupts with this. Everything else is pretty much this card will come on the field and end everyone's lives because it's just a horrible card. It has double strike. It doesn't need protection because your opponent can't activate skills. So it is absolutely crazy. It stops all cards other than the leader card. So yeah, he is definitely my number 3. He probably could have been my number 2 in terms of utility and in terms of look. It looks great. Number 2. SSB Gogeta Technique Unchained. I love this card. I don't normally like static poses on cards, but this card, it obviously looks better in person than it does there. But this card was just designed so well, so beautifully. It's a very powerful card. It's a shame we didn't see the Red Gogeta deck do more. I feel people felt that maybe it was too fair, so they didn't want to use it too much. So you saw a lot of more casual players or semi-competitive players playing it, but you didn't see any of the top players playing this deck, which was a shame. I did have a little play with using it with Vegeta Baby because I like mixing strategies, and it worked. It was a lot of tight space though. It was you either had one thing or you didn't near the other. It was a very, very close deck to use. Let's go over its skills. So that's double strike. It has EX Evolve, energy cost of Gogeta BR, energy cost of 5. You just play this card. The card can't be KO'd, which is really strong. So it doesn't need barrier, but it cannot be KO'd. Can be removed, can't be KO'd. When this card evolves into when a card evolves into this card, choose up to one of your red unisons. Add 2 markers to it. Very powerful. The problem was red didn't have many great unisons. It does now. When this card attacks one of your opponent's cards, or one of your opponent's cards attacks, choose one card and it gets negated 20k for the power if you do negate the skill for the turn. That is crazy. That skill is crazy. It does what Red Baby does, but better. It can't be removed for one. It minuses everything by 20k. You don't get the draw, which you get on Red Baby, but you can minus any card. So you can minus a leader card, you can minus a unison. Any card gets minused by 20k. That skill is crazy powerful. And I just wish we saw more play from this card because I do truly think this card and the deck can do really well. So maybe, people might maybe it just needs a bit more testing. As I said, I don't play the Gogeta chain myself, but I really do like the Gogeta chain. So yeah, there's more to have a look at. So now we're going to go on to my favorite SPR of all time, and I'll go over why, and I'll go over a few cool little things that I like about it. And hopefully some of you agree with me. Let me know in the comments if you do. Also, like, subscribe. Just tell me what you think, guys. I want to do more of this. I've changed my setup so I can do more of this. So let me know. Here we go. Golden Frieza Resurrected Terror. I love this card. It's BT1, so it's old. It's gone up crazy in price, so another reason I like it. But it's just such a cool looking SPR. The foiling was great. Obviously it was one of the first SPRs as well, and I was very lucky. I joined in set 4 or 3, and I just got a couple of boosters of this set anyway, and I was like, oh, we'll have a look, and I got an SPR Golden Frieza. I bought another one recently because I sold that old one, but yeah, I just think this is a really cool card. So its effect, evolve for 6. Yeah, it costs 7 to play it normally, but you can evolve it for 1 energy less. Yeah. Triple strike, no protection, so it doesn't have deflect because I don't even think deflect existed then. It doesn't have barrier, which is a shame. When this card evolves, When a card evolves into this card, place all rest mode battle cards except for this card in the drop area. So it gets around barrier because it just places them. Very cool interaction, just places them in the drop. Choose all active mode cards except for this card and switch them to rest mode. Now, the only thing is it does choose all on both sides, which is, so you have to do all your stuff first and then, you know, use this, which is a shame, but it does stop your opponent comboing unless they've got barrier, of course. If they haven't, then yeah, you've got this card. Now, cool little text. The new golden freezer leader, which is BT12, and it's the one that flips life. You have cards that come out for 1 energy the turn before from the life for a negate, or you have lots of like freezer cards that you can interact with, and you can evolve this on top. I play one of it in my freezer deck because it's just like, if I get it out, I get it out, and if it does stuff, it does stuff. If I don't, I don't. It doesn't make any difference. It's just a bit of fun. At the end of the day, the game is supposed to be fun. Play with some of your favorite cards. I'm going to do more on that. I'm going to do, you know, little videos about playing with budget cards or building decks the way you want to play. You know, I've always played decks I want to play, and I've managed to do quite well with them. So it will be coming, and hopefully, guys, you stick with me. And also, let me know what you thought your favorite SPRs are, and I'm going to do top 5 leaders and some other stuff. Big shout out to people that have been helping me with this. People in like teams like Delusional Warriors. They've been helping me come up with ideas for the channel, so I really do appreciate that. And again, big up to everyone in Europe and everyone in America playing the game. Just remember, guys, stay smooth. Peace.